Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about investing, and with investing, how to play the long game. So, this is a small guide. And when people ask about investing, and when asked about investing, most people think that they have to know all about the stock market and all of everything that entails. The good news is that you don't actually need to know everything about stocks, bonds, and all of that in order to invest. There are different ways to do it, and I'm going to talk about it. So, the first things first is what is investing? Investing is the purchasing of assets in order to increase future income or value. When you invest in something, you expect to get a return. There are other ways to invest other than the stock market. There is real estate. So, with real estate, whenever you buy a house or multiple houses, you invest in that home for future value. What you pay for it today may not be what you pay for that house later on in life. Like, I know that my parents bought their home a while ago, and now it's worth so much more than what they bought it for. That's just how the market works. Um, there's also investing in creating your own business. When you put money and a name onto a business, you expect to gain money in return. That is investing. So there are different ways to invest. However, if you are really interested in the stock market and to know what the heck all that is all about, I've got you covered on that too. So, what is the stock market? So, as much as the stock market might seem super confusing, and if you're like this Chris Pratt guy is like, I don't still don't understand how the stock market works, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. That was me too. But I promise that the stock market isn't actually all that complicated. It just seems that way. So, in order to understand how to invest in stocks, first I'll tell you what a stock is. A stock is a type of financial security that represents the ownership or equity interest in a fraction of a corporation. So that equity is established on a per share basis. So when you buy multiple shares of stock, you are purchasing a proportionate claim on a company's net assets and future earnings. So basically, what you're doing is you're buying a small, tiny portion of that company, and that company, the more that they earn and the more that they grow, you'll get money in return because you're now a part of that company. So when you buy a share in anything, it is held in an account. And these accounts are called investment accounts. So these account values shift as stocks values shift. So the potential for growth is higher, but not super guaranteed. And I'll talk more about why you should be careful with risk, and also that risk is not as scary as it might seem. And you want to do smart choices so that there's less risk. And I'll talk about that just a little bit later. But you may also sell investments for gain or loss and receive dividends with stocks or interest with bonds. And investment accounts are also fairly flexible to purchase or add to. So you can buy pretty much anything in any company, and you can add to it as much as you want and gain from it as much as you need to. Although there might be penalties for early withdrawal on some types of accounts, there is no growth super guaranteed in any investment account. So again, there's risk, but with great risk comes what's life without a little risk, right? So with great investment comes great return. So some are tax advantaged, and some of the more common investment accounts are retirement accounts like 401ks. My parents have a little bit more of an uncommon type of investment account called a 403b. There are brokerage accounts, different types of retirement accounts. There's education investment accounts, business investment accounts. There's a whole world out there for you to explore and see. And now that we kind of know what stocks are and how they work and how investment accounts work, I'm going to talk about some secrets to investing. The main secret to investing is time. The sooner you invest, the more of a return you'll get. That is because with investment accounts, most of the time it is built upon compound interest. And what I mean by compound interest is that it's interest on top of interest. So if you have $50 in your investment account and in a year you get $5, it's interest on top of the $55, not the $50. So over time, it just builds up and up and up and up. And that's why investing is so awesome and super easy. And because you just put $50 in there and now it's going to go up because the market usually goes up. There's of course going to be market crashes and stuff like that, but like I said, time is the secret. Don't freak out if your stock crashes a little bit and you ends up losing some money, because over time there is going to be a raise in the stock market, because that is how the market works and the economy. So really you just have to be patient and really wait for it. And also, another secret is smart investments. You want to invest in companies that you know whose value will grow. Some examples of companies that might be a little bit more smart to invest in are companies like technology companies, anything like that. Electric vehicles right now are seeing a big rise in investing, and that's because there's going to be a big rise in electric vehicles, those commercials and stuff that are going on, etc. But then again, right now, if you're looking for something to invest in, there's always the internet to go a safe route and see which stuff kind of goes more toward what you are able to do. Um, and even then, what's trendy now, like technology and electronic vehicles, doesn't need to be what you invest in. You can invest in almost anything and still get a return, just because over time the stock market tends to go up, like I said earlier. If you invest in quite literally anything, that you will get a return, because over time the stock market tends to just rise. Even if there is a falter, which is going to happen, over time it's going to go back up. So investing doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be super scary. And I hope that these little tips and tricks that I just gave you helps you get a better understanding, and you realize that investing really is just a waiting game, and it's playing at the long game. When you invest in something, you have to be patient. And that really is all that I have today. So, thank you so much, and have a great day.